Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people. My name is Francine, and I'm here with my channel, The Hermetic Herald, here for another message for you guys. This is going to be a celebrity tarot reading for Teyana Taylor and for Iman Shumpert. Please correct me if I've gotten their names wrong. I just recently saw a news article, a number of them actually, on Twitter, where they were talking about them announcing their separation after 7 to 10 years of marriage. Some say 7, some say 10. So I just wanted to come on here really quick and see if we can get some clarity through tarot, just to clarify what happened. Also, like what happened leading up to this moment to where these news reports were coming out. Some of the reports were saying things such as they were saying that Teyana Taylor had been separated for quite some time, and that she had mentioned that they were separated for a bit before the news broke out. So I want to just come in and unbiased. I usually like to come in unbiased with my approach. So if you guys are new, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be touching base with their energies. I will allow the cards to speak for themselves and their guides and their spirit team to speak for themselves. So I'm not going to allow any of my biases at all affect the reading. I don't know them very well, so just a disclaimer that I might ask questions while I'm doing this reading. And if you guys know that, you can feel free to comment. Okay, I love having comments. I love listening to what you guys have to say. And I do really respect the guides and the people that are helping them on their spirit team. So with Iman and with Teyana, they're both going to be involved in this reading. All right, so I wanted to kind of give you guys an overview. I have my paper here. So I wanted to start off with the archetypes. What I want to do is touch base with Teyana's light and shadow attributes, as well as Iman's light and shadow attributes. Not many readers do this, but I feel like it's so useful to talk about the archetypes of the people that you're talking about. What are the attributes that may have contributed to this not working out? They are so important. So we're going to touch base on those right now here. All right, I feel like this one, who is this for? Spirit, Iman, okay. Light, spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Please give us clear and concise information on Teyana Taylor's light attribute. Please provide me with one card for her. Please provide me with Iman's shadow attribute. Feeling that one, but we'll let it come out when it's ready. What is Iman's shadow attribute, Spirit? Can you please guide us? Okay, wow. So what's interesting is a number of them came out. Do you want me to have these, Spirit? Yeah, especially those. Okay. What is... Ooh, wow, that fell on you guys. All right. So this one also wants to come out for her, and this one. So we have a lot more shadow attributes coming out for these two people. So let's start off with Teyana here. Let's start with Teyana. We have scribe. So her light attribute, or her characteristic that they want you guys to know, is that she preserves knowledge and information. She does not forget offenses. She does not forget information when you give it to her. She keeps tabs on information very well. The scribe attribute is someone who is very knowledgeable and has also has a really good way of writing things down or keeping them close to their heart. So I want to kind of give you guys an idea of that as well through the book. So, scribe, okay, copies existing works rather than creating new ones. Includes journalists who record existing knowledge and information and uncover secrets, and webmasters. So someone who is able to uncover secrets and writes about them. That is her light attribute in this dynamic, in this relationship. Iman's is gambler. He is willing to follow his intuition even when others doubt him. So already we're getting quite an interesting dynamic between these two. With the scribe, this is someone who's very knowledgeable, who's very cerebral. We have someone who's more so into logic, into writing down information, uncovering things, and making it clear for others to see. This feels like a sword's energy, and he has the gambler, which feels more of like a Piscean and more of like a watery energy here. So that's interesting. So he's coming in as someone who kind of blindly follows or does what his intuition tells him. regardless of how crazy it can be. I can see that there's a dynamic between them that's very distinct, and they're very different in regards to their light attributes. But what is their shadow? Midas, miser. This is someone who hoards money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. She's very protective. This is like the Four of Pentacles energy. Very protective, very possessive of her wealth and resources, and also of the people around her as well. She's very possessive. We also have the next card as Mystic. It says delusional rapport with the divine. If you guys can see that. Delusional rapport with the divine. Let's look at that really quick. Spirit, what is Mystic? There's something about this book here. It has some information that I feel like is really helpful. Manifests as self-importance and egocentric concern for one's own spiritual progress to the exclusion of others, and taking advantage of disciples for economic or sexual benefits. So it's self-importance, egocentric concern for one's own spiritual progress to the exclusion of others, and taking an advantage of disciples for economic or sexual benefits. So she's coming off as someone who's very egocentric within the dynamic and very protective. So when she has something that she believes is hers, she keeps it, and she also is very good at preserving knowledge and interest and information, as well as offenses. This can really be a difficult thing for someone to experience, because when you're able to remember information and experiences, you might bring that back up in a relationship, in a dynamic. If you also have a tendency of hoarding money and resources, you also can be very stingy when you feel like you're being hurt or someone is trying to offend you. You also tend to protect yourself basically from others that you feel are going to hurt you or affect you negatively. She also has the tendency of seeing herself as somewhat higher in her spiritual journey than her counterpart, than Iman here. We also have Messiah. Exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Wow. So that's basically saying what I just said. She has the Mystic and the Messiah in the shadow attribute. She's a little too into herself in the sense of believing that she is the bread and the butter of the relationship, and that can create a dynamic where she sees herself as the head, and he likely felt like he wasn't enough. And that can usually lead to a bunch of other stuff that we'll get into if it comes up later. We also have the shadow attribute as healer, which says taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. He wasn't caring for himself enough. He also wasn't he wasn't operating in integrity with regards to healing and helping others heal. He was abusing rather than healing other people here. We also have child magical, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So he's not only a gambler, but he tends to think that things should come to him easily, and he wasn't willing to put in the energy and action required. So there's this energy of like expecting things to come to him magically rather than taking the time to work on it. He likely has a lot of gifts, and sometimes with people that are talented or gifted, they tend to operate in a way where if they let it, they sometimes expect things to come easy to them because they're gifted, but you also have to put in the time and energy and effort into something in order to make yourself even better. You should always opt to improve your experience and to be better at whatever it is that you're good at. It seems as though he tends to kind of sit on some talents and gifts that he has and expect things to come in for him. But that's not always the case, okay? We also have child nature, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. He's abusive to the people around him. That's coming in again. When you have the healer archetype in the shadow and the child nature, that tells me that there's some issues with his child, it's inner child healing that's needed here. He tends to abuse other people. He tends to abuse the environment. It's like he doesn't respect Mother Nature. And that might have something to do with him not respecting feminine energies here. Okay, we also have Fool, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. He wasn't willing to be emotional with her. He wasn't willing to show it's like he had a facade a lot, or he would use his humor to redirect a situation that was really intense and not addressing it head on. He would always use humor and hide behind it rather than allowing himself to be liberated and to tell the truth and to be honest with how he felt. Usually people that hide behind humor are people that have always tried to maybe help other people with the healer archetype, but not help themselves, not willing to address the deeper aspects of life and allow it to be seen. It's easier to laugh about things with him. Okay. We also have here addict in the reverse, or in the shadow. Compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. He has some addiction, and I don't know why I'm getting maybe sex addiction. So we're gonna see what the cards say. But there's this need for him to address his addiction or his addictive patterns, because they've already taken over and had authority over his inner spirit. There's something here about him just kind of like laughing it off and kind of saying like, that's just how I am, rather than confronting it and allowing himself to move forward and to heal it. We also have mentor, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. There was like a power issue, there was an issue with power between these two. I feel that strongly. They weren't able to work together. He felt like he was a mentor to Teyana, or in some way, shape, or form, but he needed to allow her to move on to what she's good at. I feel like they might have initially had things that they worked on together. There were things that came up that he was really good at addressing for her, but he wasn't addressing it in himself. And when you're not helping yourself heal, but you're trying to heal everyone else, you end up falling short. And there's something here about that. He has more karmic archetypes than Teyana within this dynamic. So let's get into it. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, please give me an understanding in order with the cards. Please give me an understanding of, what is their situation? What is their masks? Their self-image? Their obstacles? What's the cause of their separation, as well as the potential of them getting back together? And what is the trajectory of their career going forward individually? Please help us understand what these are. I'm hearing 2, surrender 1, 2. Then I'm going to cut the deck in 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 3, 1, 2 is what I'm hearing. 1, 2. All right, we're ready to go. Bottom of the deck is going to be the 2 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. So with the overall energy being these 3 cards, what this tells me is with the 2 of Wands, there is this energy of them looking from afar and planning this separation. What was going on is both of them were trying to decide and decipher on when to do this, when to share the news, when to allow themselves to move forward. They were looking at it from it was like a broader perspective, where they were kind of trying to figure out, and I'm hearing cancel out. So they were both coming together and saying, hey, when do you want to talk about this? And they were like canceling their plans, canceling their decision to do something. So it kept getting pushed back. But they were deciding on doing this for quite some time, as she said. So I do believe the news reports there when it comes to this happening and them trying to work it out for quite some time. We have the King of Wands. They acted on it finally. But the 7 of Swords is here, which is about lying, deceit, and also about moving secretly and quietly with something. So let's get into it here. What is the situation with Teyana? Situation with Iman? What are they going through right now? We already know what's happening, but they have something to talk about here. What are their masks? What is their true self-image? What are their obstacles? What is the cause of the separation? What is the potential of getting back together? And what is the trajectory of their careers? I'll put this one here for Teyana at the top, and then this one here for Iman at the top. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so situation is the 3 of Swords for her. Okay, so unsurprisingly, the energy of disappointment, of feeling stabbed in the heart, of feeling heartbreak is her energy right now. She's feeling really heartbroken. She's feeling really disappointed about the situation at hand. So when the 3 of Swords comes, that means that she's currently going through some wounding. She's trying to heal the wounding. But right now, There's an energy of her feeling the pain, feeling it more than anything right now. That is her current energy. What is Iman's current energy given what we've heard about the separation? The Ace of Wands. So he's taking a different turn with this energy. He's not in the Three of Swords, of course, because we can't get two Three of Swords. But Spirit's trying to highlight that his energy is a lot different, and I'm hearing shifting. He's shifting into gears. He's shifting into moving towards something and something else. So there may be someone else that he's already interested in. We're going to find out. But the Ace of Wands is here. That's usually about inspired action and moving forward. He's physically moving forward. She's feeling the pain of this situation. What are their masks? How do they want people to see them right now? For Teyana, we have the Two of Swords. She wants people to see that she's indecisive, that she's really split between likely her kids and this relationship, split between what's going to happen, feels like she's in two. She's basically parted in two. This is not a good energy in the sense of she's still in her head, or she is currently in the Swords energy. So she's dealing with a lot of indecisiveness or feeling really spread thin. She's trying to get things done, trying to focus on multiple things at once, and she feels indecisive or wants people to see that she is indecisive. What is his mask? The High Priestess. He wants people to see that he's intuitive and that this is the right thing for him to do. This is the right thing for them to do. He's feeling like the one that initiated this. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't know if you're going to hear something different from other readers, but in this current trajectory today on September 17th, 2023, he was very decisive. I think he is the most decisive of the two, which tells me he planned it. He's the one that had some kind of leadership role in regards to getting this on the ground, this separation on the ground. We have the High Priestess. He wants you guys to see him and projects the energy of knowing what he's doing. With regards to their self-image, her self-image is that she sees herself as the Queen of Cups, having a lot of love for him. She had a lot of love for him. She had a lot of generosity towards him, a lot. Okay, this is about being very, very deeply loving towards someone. She really sees herself as being a very motherly, matronly person in his life, and between the two of them. She loves a lot. She loved him very deeply, guys, and likely still has love for him. What is his self-image in this? The Ten of Swords. He feels like he's wow. He feels like he's been backstabbed in some way. He feels really weighed down. But I also feel like he feels that he's this way to people. He tends to hurt people he loves. The Ten of Swords is here, so he sees himself as in a very painful situation. It's like he wants to move past this, though, and take the swords out. So despite him having this as his self-image of how he sees himself weighed down like this, he still is acting. His situation is that he's going to move out of it, this energy. Let's keep going. What is the cause of, let's see, let's go into obstacles first. What is their obstacle? Seven of Wands and the Strength card. What this tells me is that their obstacle is they're very powerful energies, and what they're going to have to deal with is having to come to some agreements. They have to have some self-control here. Their obstacle is going to be not being too headstrong, but allowing the situation to unfold and not being defensive. I feel like they're going to be standing their ground, very defensive, very prideful, because I'm getting Wands and I'm getting also the Strength card, which is Leo energy. They need to be very fluid with this decision and with moving forward. They can't be as fixed as it seems like they are, because Leo is a fixed sign, and also Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. These are their obstacles. They're going to need to not be so headstrong in order to move forward with this separation. What is the cause of the separation, guys? What is it? The Five of Cups, loss. Wow. So the cause of the separation was loss. They felt like they lost more than they gained in this relationship. They felt like the joy for the Three of Cups being spilled over, that what they had before is not there. It's spilled out. It's flowing out in the river. It's nowhere to be seen. It's not close to them anymore. They don't feel the love anymore. They don't feel like they have much going on anymore. They feel like this is just kind of like it's tapered off into sadness, into nothingness. They have two cups, but they're not willing to see what residuals they have because the majority of it is gone. I want to ask this question though. Was there any cheating involved in this relationship, Spirit? Was there any cheating? Wow, we have the Knight of Cups. There was. Can you please clarify the Knight of Cups with regards to this cheating situation? Please clarify what was going on. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. Whoa. Okay, and we have the Two of Wands. Wow. So bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. It feels as though he was looking for an opportunity. One of them, at least, was looking for an opportunity, and the other was feeling like they were very confrontational, trying to be resilient, trying to keep it going and moving on with the Nine of Wands. But this opportunity for this some other relationship, and I'm seeing a Page of Pentacles, came in. With the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, there was an opportunity for them. Someone had an opportunity in this relationship to go and look for love in another person. I'm getting the Five of Swords at the bottom here, which means that it caused a lot of disruption. It caused a lot of arguments, but it also was a way for that person to feel in control of the relationship. Because the Five of Swords typically is when someone is fighting a battle and they're going to do whatever it takes to win. That's the energy coming through, and we have the Tower moment coming. So to clarify the yes that we got for whether there was cheating involved, we have the Four of Cups. This is when someone's detached. Someone doesn't feel like they're being satisfied. They're looking at their cups and they're not happy with what they're seeing. The Ten of Cups is here, which is also about harmony. It's about family. It's about feeling way more satisfied outside of the relationship than in this relationship, and so that person was searching elsewhere. Can you please determine and help us understand who it was? Who of the two of them was doing this? We have two cards here, the Knight of Wands and Judgment. Wow. Bottom of the deck is the Emperor, the Knight of Pentacles, and then, oh wow. So it was Iman. So he was definitely doing this, because when I see the Knight of Wands energy, I was already thinking Iman, but I'm feeling like he was going around, and it was very clear and apparent to Teyana, because we have the Emperor coming out, which feels like his energy. This is someone who feels like they're in control, that they're in control of what they're doing, and they're doing this slow and steady, or they've been doing this over a period of time, and it was making them very happy. They were contented, and I'm getting the Ace of Swords. Yeah, they were coming home, resting, and Teyana was aware because she felt very left out in the dark. But he was doing this for quite some time, and he was happy and contented with it. So even though you may hear reports of it not being involved, it was a part of it. It may not have been the main part, but this was definitely, the Knight of Wands is a classic like energy of someone who's ready to just have fun. And when you see that in Judgment, yeah, he was running around. So I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to be real with you. That's what the tarot is telling me. And it was too much for her at one point. It just became too much with the Ten of Wands showing up here. And look at that. The Ace of Swords is looking at me in the face. So Ace of Swords is usually clarity. That means I'm on the right track here. So I take that as a confirmation. Spirit, what is the next one here? What is the potential of them getting back together? Justice. So justice has been served. Justice has been done. In regards to what this means for the potential, it means as though it's karmic retribution. It means that the scales are finally in alignment and balanced, and I want to clarify that, because balance has come to this relationship. Justice has been served. Please clarify justice for me, Spirit. Yeah, look at this, guys. Karmic destiny, the wheel has turned. That means that this could likely just be over, but let's keep going. Please clarify the justice card. Wow, Six of Cups, past. This is like past life, soulmates, or this is about the past, nostalgia. Whoa. Oh, wow. So the potential of getting back together is justice, clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Devil. And then I'm seeing the Eight of Cups here afterwards. Whoa. So they may revisit this. Is that correct, Spirit? Please clarify yes or no if that's correct. Yeah. So they may revisit this relationship, guys. So it may likely not be over. what will happen is that they're going to try to revisit the karmic wheel of destiny with the Six of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. They may come back together to talk about things, to reminisce, to see if there's something that they can bring back into the relationship. But as quickly as that happens, there's going to be like this moment of clarity where they begin to see like the deception, they begin to see the toxicity, and then they're going to walk away from each other again. So expect for them to quickly reconvene to try to see if they can bridge or build a bridge or bring something back into the relationship, but it's going to end up not happening. They're going to end up leaving each other. That's the trajectory that they're currently on, okay? So yeah, justice is here, justice, karmic retribution is here. Let's move on. So what is the trajectory of their careers? Look at this, the World, all major arcana is coming out for them. This was meant to happen. Yeah, they're going to have a new start. They're going to have a new start with the Fool. All right. So let's see what is their trajectory. What is Teyana's trajectory of her career path? We have the Page of Cups. She's going to be going back to, I'm hearing long lost loves that she had in her it's like her artistry. She's going to go back to the things that she really loves and enjoys doing to cope through this separation. She's going back to a number of things that she really loves and allowing her inner child to heal. So you're going to see her with projects or see her doing stuff going forward from this date, September 17th, 2023. You're going to see her doing some really fun projects, things that she really feels like opens her heart up. And she's going to be open to the love that she gets from those projects. I feel like love is not only in people, it's also in things that you do and how you express yourself. For Iman, we have the Ten of Pentacles. His career is going to be, wow, Ten of Pentacles is about having like the pinnacle of success here. Bringing a lot of money in. He might be investing in stocks specifically or seeing an increase in his money from stocks. He might be seeing like investing in certain things. He may be starting to like look into focusing on his family, focusing on them, and if not them, it's about his legacy. So he's going to be focusing on kind of settling in more so than he has already. So expect him to kind of look towards his family, of trying to continue to build that bridge. I feel strongly like he's going to try to continue to be a part of their lives, try to continue to make that his career focus, as well as just settling down and doing whatever it is that helps him feel more rich, like focusing on investing, like I said earlier, stocks, looking in at business opportunities that will bring him money, passive, like something about that is coming through, like something that's going to bring him money while he sits and enjoys his family. That's coming through a lot. Wow. So let's go into their healing messages, guys, to close. What is Teyana healing from the situation with Iman Spirit? What is Teyana healing? What is the most important thing that Teyana is healing in this relationship from this separation and this dynamic? Okay, wow. We have slow and steady, and we also have growth. She's working on being slow and steady. The numbers 3 and 8 are very significant for her. What is Iman healing? We're going to go into what each of these cards mean in a second. Wow, we have forgiveness. He's working on forgiveness here. I would expect Teyana to be working on forgiveness. What is the other card for Iman? Wow, ancient wisdom. Is there anything else, Spirit? Okay, that's it. Bottom of the deck is reunion of souls. This is about a soulmate connection. We also have anger and teaching. I almost said unlimited possibilities. 7, 28, and 14. Multiples of 7 is coming through. Very interesting. So they're learning a lot of lessons as soulmates. I feel like they're karmic soulmates. I feel like they're learning how to look at their anger and what they have been able to accomplish in regards to addressing their anger. I'm hearing anger management, teaching huge lessons. I feel like they've learned a lot of lessons throughout this relationship of how to see duality, how to see the good and the bad, and to see it as a part of the human experience. I also want to read to you guys what these mean. So let's get into number 3 for Teyana for her healing message here. We have slow and steady. Don't rush the situation. More often than not, divine timing and our timing are not the same. When you try to speed up a life experience, a relationship, or even a project, you circumvent necessary experiences or lessons along the way that will contribute to a perfect outcome. Know that wherever you are in the situation, it's the perfect place for you to be. If this place is causing you anxiety, perfect. Now you can look within and ask yourself why. What are your fears surrounding this perceived delay in getting to where you want to go? What is the worst that can happen? What is the best that can happen? What if we remove the words best and worst and just let things unfold at their own pace without attaching judgment? She needs to be very slow and steady with herself. She needs to allow herself to go at the pace that she wants to go at. I almost feel like this relationship went too quickly, in the sense of them getting married too quickly. I feel like they had some things to grow and things to address that weren't addressed right away. They felt the connection, but they weren't willing to address that they didn't have to be in a marriage in order to feel the connection. There's something here about that as well. There's an importance in taking things a step at a time and not letting anyone try to derail you or tell you that you need to be married at a certain age, that you need to have kids at a certain age. I feel like she felt the pressure, but now she's needing to slow down and recalibrate, and she's needing to allow herself to have the grace, extend to herself the grace to move through this situation, through this separation, through whatever they decide to do going forward. Very important here for her. All right, and we have here number 38, growth. The situation or time is one of rapid growth. The seeds that have been planted have germinated and taken root. They have germinated and taken root. Go with the flow of this growing time. You may find people and situations falling away from your life, as now they do not serve who and what you are becoming. It may be that your vibration no longer resonates with theirs. It's okay. Wish them well, be grateful for what they brought to you and you to them, and send them on their way. Room has now been made for new experiences, people, and situations to help you to your next level. If you're not feeling the shift right now, be prepared because it will soon come to pass. Wow. So she was growing out of alignment with him, and that is primarily why they were not seeing each other either physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally. They were starting to distance one another from each other, and that was because of their like energetic blueprint. Their energies were shifting, and they were not growing or shifting together. For Iman's shamanic healing message, it's forgiveness. It has been said forgiveness is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. Forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of self. He needs to forgive himself. We are the most critical and judgmental of ourselves. This inner critic does so much more harm than criticism that comes from others. Forgive yourself for trusting others and getting hurt, for not knowing, for not seeing, for not believing. You are human, and you are growing and learning. Human perfection is rooted in imperfection. This card indicates the need for forgiveness in the situation asked about. He needs to forgive himself. He needs to rectify what's happened and allow himself to actually address it, and not to go into this karmic fool energy that we talked about. Remember, we talked about this? Someone who uses humor to wound rather than liberate. Someone who's used to always kind of shrugging things off and moving on. He needs to heal it. He needs to address it head on. Okay. We also have 34 coming through. Nature is the perfect place to center yourself and ground. If you guys can see that. I'm waiting for it to... Okay. Why is it doing that? Anyway... All right, nature is the perfect place to center yourself and ground out any excessive noise in your head. In nature, all the secrets of the universe are held. From the fiercest energy of a raging sea in a storm to the nurturing and loving energy of a 100-year-old grove of trees. Get out in nature and listen to what it has to tell you, what she has to tell you. There is much to learn from nature. Trees just want to be trees. They are not trying to be boulders. Deer are just deer. They accept that. Wolves are wolves. They know no other way. They do not try to get an extreme makeover to become a bear. This energy vibration can be so different from the human experience. It is true, pure love, non-judgment, and acceptance. When you tap into the ancient wisdom of the natural world, you find peace within yourselves. You get to know thyself. By drawing this card, you are being asked to come to peace with who you are and what you have to offer the situation. He needs to come to grips with who he is. He needs to come to grips with accepting who he is, and also not being hesitant to address it. There's something about him having some deep seated things that he has to address that no one else can do for him. He has to do for himself. There's a need for him to allow the transformation to occur and for him to allow himself to forgive where they ended up. So that is what I have for you guys today. I hope this helps give some proper understanding of their archetypes, which is so important to understand in any relationship dynamic and in any interpersonal relationship for that fact or for that matter. I hope this helps you answer. I hope it helped answer some questions for you guys as well, and I hope that you enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you really enjoyed this reading or at least appreciated the depth of the reading itself. I also would like to share that I have exclusive content coming through on Buy Me a Coffee. I may be gone for a bit, just working on Buy Me a Coffees, and as well as a cool and exciting collaboration that I'm having coming up. Also, I want to say that I have personal readings. I have 10 slots available for the month of September. So if you guys would like a reading, please let me know in the description box, or rather in the comments or through email. My email address will be below for you guys. But you take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.